The long-standing Castlevania series makes a triumphant return in an all-new adventure, but does it avoid the pitfalls that plagued the series' previous attempts at 3D?
These are dark times, times without hope. Men of faith claim that this is a test from God to strengthen our spirit. Perhaps this is true, or perhaps it is simply a pious lie. If it is true, darkness has come to engulf once proud humanity, and we are witnessing the end of mankind.
Under the supervision of Kojima Productions, Castlevania Lords of Shadow follows the journey of Gabriel Belmont, a member of the Brotherhood of Light tasked with the destruction of an unknown darkness that sweeps the land. In addition to this, Gabriel is also out to avenge the murder of his wife, Marie. On his quest, he'll encounter several other characters, including another Brotherhood member named Zobek, a shapeshifter named Pan, and a strange girl named Claudia.
The crystals can be really useful in combat. You can find crystal shards scattered all over the place. I often go in search of them.
How can I hear your voice
I'm not moving my lips. I have the gift. I can also read minds.
Who are you?
The storyline goes a long way in reshaping the Castlevania universe, and has its fair share of twists and turns. Relayed largely through the amazing voice work of actors like Patrick Stewart, Robert Carlyle, and Jason Isaacs, the writing is quite strong, and fans of the series will enjoy it thoroughly.
Who are you?
I am Gabriel. I have traveled here seeking the Guardian of the Lake.
You are from the Order? They sent you?
How do I find him?
He will find you. In the forest.
Gameplay is your typical third-person hack and slash with a hefty dose of platforming and puzzle solving. At its core, combat is handled with light and heavy attacks and grabs, but as you progress, you unlock special abilities that inject more strategy into the experience. The most predominant of these is the light and shadow magic system. Sequences of attacks on enemies yield neutral magic orbs, which can be used to charge your light or shadow magic meters. When either type of magic is activated, the effects are different. Activating light magic allows Gabriel to drain health from his enemies, whereas shadow magic increases the damage of his attacks. Button mashing will only get you so far, seeing as even on regular difficulty, you'll find yourself being killed quite often. The more difficult boss battles or fights with larger mobs will demand mastery of numerous attacks, blocking, dodging, and the magic system, making combat the highlight of the game. The platforming and the exploration, on the other hand, suffer somewhat due to fixed camera angles and the occasional confusing level design. Fortunately, platforming is little more than an interlude between the gauntlets of enemies. Puzzles are usually easily solved using the clues provided, but should you end up being stumped, you can forfeit the experience in exchange for the answer. One thing that gamers will immediately notice about Lords of Shadow is the length. The massive adventure spans 12 chapters, each with multiple individual stages. Add the completion percentage for each stage and a strong motivation to return to previous areas when you've acquired new skills, and you have an epic adventure that will last upwards of 20 hours. Exploration is strictly limited to the occasional branching path in a stage or hidden room. The game is much more closely related to the original Castlevania or Super Castlevania 4 than it is to Symphony of the Night or the recent DS titles. Those who have only known the open-world Castlevania titles might find the linearity of Lords of Shadow to be off-putting, but the approach definitely has its merits. Visually, Lords of Shadow is impressive, but rarely astounding. Epic battles with titans are the visual highlight, but the environments, despite being nice to look at, can often make it confusing as to which ledge can be grabbed and what's just background texture. Castlevania Lords of Shadow is, without a doubt, the best 3D Castlevania title ever made. While the bar wasn't raised that high, and purists will still long for the classic 2D Metroidvania style of gameplay, Lords of Shadow is still worth checking out. The length of the game justifies the price tag, and while it's not a must-buy, if you're interested in the Castlevania mythology, or just want to enjoy some well-designed battle mechanics, Castlevania Lords of Shadow fits the bill.